students of class 6. Please turn to page number 78. I am reading, please follow me. Page number 78. Today I would like to start a new chapter, living and non-living. Okay? Please turn to page number 78. Please take a pencil. Whatever I ask you to underline, please underline. A great variety of things are present on earth. Everything present on earth can be divided into two groups, living things and non-living things. Children, this is just the introduction that they have given. Just follow me. The things that have life, insects, trees, birds, are called living things or living organisms. Underline this. The things that have life, insects, trees, birds, are called living things or living organisms. Underline, all animals and plants are living things. Biology is the study of living things. Please underline. Now children, underline the next paragraph. Full. The things that do not have life are called non-living things. Stones, water, the sun and the moon are some of the non-living things present in nature. Things like paper, cloth and glass are all non-living things that are not present in nature. Okay? Now follow me. All living and non-living things are made up of matter and thus have mass and have a shape and occupy space. You will remember, students, matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Okay, that is the definition of matter. Anything that occupies space and has mass. All living things share certain characteristics that distinguish them from living things. For example, most living things need air, water and food to survive, whereas non-living things do not need them. All living things can move, grow and reproduce. Okay, you know, students, that living organisms need air, okay, for respiration. Okay, without oxygen we cannot survive. Okay, animals cannot survive without oxygen, without respiration. Okay, you know that animals breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. And where does this oxygen come from? This oxygen comes from the air. Okay, whereas non-living things do not need oxygen, okay, for breathing. Okay, actually speaking, non-living things do not breathe at all. Okay, because they do not have life. Okay, they are not living. Although non-living things generally do not exhibit all the above characteristics, some of them exhibit growth and movement. Okay, now cellular structure. Please underline this full paragraph. All organisms are made up of one or more cells. A cell is the smallest living unit of an organism. Underline this definition of cell printed in italics. A cell is the smallest living unit of an organism. It is the structural and functional unit of all living organisms. Underline this statement also. It is the structural and functional unit of all living organisms. Most cells are so small that they can be seen only with a microscope. Yes, you cannot see the cells with naked eye. Okay, you have to use a microscope. Okay, with the help of microscope you will be able to see the cells. Okay, underline the next line. Organisms can be either unicellular or multicellular. What is unicellular? Unicellular means the cell that is made up of only one cell. And what is multicellular? Multicellular means made up of more than one cell. So unicellular organisms are simple organisms made up of a single cell. Bacteria, amoeba, paramecium are examples of unicellular organisms. Underline. Multicellular organisms means made up of more than one cell. Our multicellular organisms are complex organisms made up of more than one cell. Humans, plants, birds and insects are examples of multicellular organisms. Underline with this much. Alright students, please turn to page number 79. Page number 79, as I ask you to underline, you will keep underlining. Growth. Growth is the gradual increase in the size of an organism as it matures. You will underline the definition printed in italics, the definition of growth. Turn to the next page. Page number 80, you will underline the definition of locomotion. Okay, it is given under the heading movement. See the first paragraph. First paragraph, the last line. The movement of an organism from place to place is called locomotion. Okay. Nutrition. Come to the next page. Page number 81. Nutrition, second paragraph. Photosynthesis. The process by which plants turn carbon dioxide and water into carbohydrates and oxygen using light energy trapped by chlorophyll is called photosynthesis. You must remember, students, that photosynthesis is the process by which green plants using carbon dioxide, okay, and water in the presence of sunlight prepare glucose, okay, prepare glucose which is used as the food for plants. And what is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is the green coloring matter of the plants, the green pigment, okay. Please underline, since green plants can prepare their own food, they are known as autotroph. Why green plants can prepare their own food? Because they have got chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green pigment of the plants. Okay, since the leaves contain chlorophyll, they can prepare their own food. Okay, unlike animals do not have chlorophyll, so animals depend upon others for food. Okay, that is why animals are called heterotroph. Please underline, animals and fungi cannot prepare their own food. They are dependent directly or indirectly on green plants for their food and are therefore called heterotrophs. Non-living things do not need food. Now, response to stimuli, printed in italics, please underline. Stimulus is a change that produces an immediate action response in an organism. Response is the immediate action taken by an organism to adjust itself according to the change. Okay, now children, I will explain to you what is stimulus, okay, what is response. When you touch accidentally a hot electric iron, what happens? You feel hot, okay, and you move away your hand. Similarly, when you touch ice, what happens? You feel cold, okay. So what is happening actually, when you are touching accidentally the electric hot iron, the heat energy flows from the electric iron to your hand, and that is why you are feeling the warmth, okay, and you move your hand away. Similarly, when you are touching the ice, you know ice is very cold. What is happening? Heat energy is flowing from your hand to the ice. That is why you are feeling cold, okay. Now come to respiration. Respiration, you will see cellular respiration printed in bold letters. Underline the definition. The release of energy from food is called cellular respiration. Actually, respiration means the breakdown of carbohydrate in the presence of oxygen. Okay, the breakdown of carbohydrate in the presence of oxygen to release energy is called respiration. Turn to the next page. Page number 82. See, there is the second paragraph. Most organisms have special organs to take in oxygen. Humans breathe in air through the nostrils into the lungs. Many animals living in water, such as fish, use their gills to separate the dissolved oxygen from water. You see, the water contains dissolved oxygen and carbon dioxide. So how do the plants breathe? Plants breathe using the oxygen that is dissolved in water. Similarly, the green plants that are present underwater, they need carbon dioxide. So from where are they getting the carbon dioxide? They are getting the carbon dioxide from the water itself. Okay? So I'm talking about the aquatic plants and organisms, because you see water contains dissolved oxygen and carbon dioxide.